Hi students, welcome back to the presentation on simulation in MATLAB Simulink. In the last video lecture we discussed about some logical operators, switch and saturation operators with one example, and also we simulate one electrical circuit with the dependent sources. Okay, in this video lecture we discuss on verification of superposition theorem and how to compute real and reactive powers and also power factor also in AC circuits. Okay, um, just to go through the MATLAB. Now I need to um, do one simulation for verification of superposition theorem. So for in order to do this verification of superposition theorem, I need to take one circuit. So I will take the circuit from this textbook. So I will take with one unsolved example itself. Okay, I will show how to solve this one and how to get the answer. Okay, now go to the Fourier circuit theorem, superposition theorem. Okay, yes, I will select this problem. Okay, it's a very simple problem, but two sources are there. So I need to compute using what is the problem now? Using the superposition theorem, find V naught in the circuit shown in the figure. Clear? So I need to find out the voltage across the 2 ohm resistor by using superposition theorem. So what do you mean? All of you know about the statement of the superposition theorem in any linear bilateral network. Um, the response in any element is equal to the algebraic sum of the responses caused by each individual sources acting alone when while the remaining sources are replaced by their internal impedance. Here there is no internal impedance is given, so that's why we can replace the voltage source with a short circuit and current source with the open circuit. Okay, now I need to simulate this circuit. Okay, now in order to do this superposition theorem, I need to check the three cases. See here, here see, I will apply superposition theorem only when the circuit contains more than one source. So that's why in order to find the response in this 2 ohm resistor, that is a voltage across 2 ohm. So first of all, in case 1, I will consider only the 10 volts voltage source is acting alone. So what is the voltage across 2 ohm resistor? After the at that time this current source is in open circuit. There is no need to connect current source. That is the case 1. Coming to the case 2. So consider only this time current source only, and this voltage source must be replaced with a short circuit. Find the current value. Sorry, find the response V naught. Third case, apply the two sources simultaneously. Find out the voltage across the 2 ohm. Okay, so the third case is equal to case 1 response plus case 2 response. That is the total response. Clear? Okay, now I will create this circuit in the MATLAB environment. Go to the MATLAB. So take a new MDL file. Okay. Mm, now, so what are the requirements in this circuit? So go to the source. Here I need a voltage source. Okay, voltage source, and how many resistors? Three resistors are required. So that's why elements, go copy it in the untitled. So here it is a RLC branch. So double click on it and click the branch type as R only. And what is the resistance value? Resistance value one is 532. So that's why three resistors I need. So that's why here it is 5 ohms. Apply. Okay. Now only here I will make this name of the resistor as a R1. Okay. Next, similarly one more resistor. Similarly, 1 ohm resistor, and rotate in here like this. Okay. Now here. So now I need to connect it. Now here this is a case 1. Okay, so that's why no need to connect the current source. So that's why here, so I will connect all the elements. Okay, now what is the voltage source? 10 volts, 532. So that's why this is 10 volts. This is 5 only. This is 3. This is 2. Clear? Okay, I fixed this all these things. Now what is the response I need? What is the response I need? Voltage across the 2 ohm. So that's why how to compute the voltage across 2 ohm? I will take a multimeter. So that's why um, so I need the branch voltage. So that's why I indicate the measurements branch voltage, apply, okay. Now I will take the multimeter. Where is the multimeter? Go to the Simulink measurement swing, click the multimeter, right click on it, add to untitled, keep it here. I need to display that value. So I go to the library, Simulink, under Sinks, display, right click on it, go to untitled, add to untitled, okay. Now coming to construct one more circuit, this is a case 1. Now I need to construct one more case, that is only current source. So that's why how to do this. So take this one, I will copy as it is, okay. Here now I remove this one, this voltage source, I connect the current source. Where is that current source? Go to the Simulink SimPower Systems, electrical sources. Here there is no current source, but you can utilize the current controlled current source as a current source. Add to untitled. Now it is in the middle. So I will connect here like this. Okay. Now here double click on it. Make this as a DC, source type as a DC, and no need of initial type, apply, okay. But here what is the current source value? 4 amperes. So that's why I need to send that 4 amperes as a constant value by means of externally. So that's why take the constant value, okay, double click on it, 4, okay, that 4 I given. And what happened to your voltage source? It will become short circuited. Clear? So this is about this. Okay. Next, next the same circuit, third case, same circuit. Okay, but both the sources are acting simultaneously. So that's why I will incorporate DC voltage source also. Clear? Uh, okay. So now I fix all these things. So now I here the branch response I need. So that's why here I will make the name it as a R3V. I will consider. Why means this is the response due to the voltage source. So that's why from the voltage source. Next here this is R6I need. Next, here this is R9 VI, both the responses, both the responses. So that's why now I will go to the simulation, but there is no power GUI block. Definitely we got error. So that's why we need to connect, we need to place a power GUI block. Okay, keep it somewhere, no need for connection. Okay, now go to the multimeter, go to the multimeter. Now observe here R3V is due to only voltage source. R6I means only due to the current source. R9 Vi means when both the sources are acting simultaneously. Okay, I need to select all these things and selected for selected measurements. Okay, close. Next, see here 3. I selected 3 variables, so that's why it indicated 3. Finally, we got the 3 values we will display. So response first case, response in the second case, response due to the two cases. Definitely the sum of the first two cases responses is equal to the third case response. Okay, check we will whether you got the result or not. Okay, see here, see here, is it the result correct or not? See, the voltage across the 2 ohm resistor due to the voltage source is 2. The voltage across the 2 ohm resistor due to the current source alone is 4. Now when both the sources are acting simultaneously, the voltage across the same 2 ohm resistor is 6. Is it right or not? 2 plus 4 equal to 6. You can check it in the textbook answer also. See here, 6 volts. Okay, clear? So this is about the how to simulate the superposition theorem in the MATLAB environment. Okay. Next, we will take some AC circuit. See here, this is the circuit. This is a problem in one textbook. Okay, and the same question here I asked in JNT exam also. Now I will simulate this one. So here what is they are asking? A series circuit consisting of 10 ohm, 100 microfarad and a 10 millihenry is driven by a 50 hertz AC voltage source of maximum 100 volts. Maximum value is given, frequency is given. You are going to apply AC voltage source here. So that's why I will go to MATLAB Simulink and take a new file, new MDL file. Now go to the sources. Now I need voltage source, add to untitled one. So this is a voltage source. The next one is um, I need elements, series RLC branch. Okay. Next, I need to measure current, voltage, uh, and power consumed, active power and reactive power. Clear? So that's why, so here I will click the branch type as R. What is the R value? Sorry, R value is 10 ohms. Apply. Okay. Next, we can make this as R, and this is a L. You can do by means of keeping the same branch as it is also, no need to worry. Here 10 millihenry, we can write it as a 1, 10 e power minus 3. E power minus 3 means 10 power minus 3. So that's why 10 millihenry, apply. Okay. Next, here this value I will call it as a L. Next, I will go for take C, double click on it, select the branch as branch type as C. What is the C value? 100 microfarads. So that's why 100 e power e minus 6. Apply. Okay. So now here I will connect all these values, all these not values, all these elements in series. Okay. So like this. So I need to take the power GI block. Okay, keep it somewhere. Now I need to measure the real and reactive powers. In order to make the real and reactive power measurements, go to the measurements. Here there is no value, so go to the extra library. measurements, here active and reactive power. Okay, so now I will take an, so now what is the problem, sorry, what is the problem, so what is the equivalent impedance, uh, okay, I will do, we will do in separate way. Current in the circuit, power factor and the power dissipated in the circuit. Okay, current in the circuit can be determined by ammeter, so we need ammeter and voltmeter. So mm, the measurements ammeter, okay, since all the elements are in series, current passing through the all branches are same, all elements are same. Okay, now take the voltmeter. Okay, so here the power dissipation is occurred only in the resistance only, so that's why I need to connect the voltmeter across the element. Always voltmeter is connected across the element, ammeter is connected always in the, okay, so now I need to check the voltage. Yes. So now I given a V and I as the inputs for active R and I. Here what is the voltage source frequency value? Okay, I will set the parameter now. Okay, go to the voltage source. What is the peak value they, sorry, what is the peak value they given? 100 volts. 100 voltage source of maximum value 100 volts. So that's why 100 volts. 50 hertz is the frequency. Observe here, 50 hertz is the frequency. Apply. Okay, now go to here, so this is the value I need to display, I need to display this value, so that's why. And one more thing, here I will select branch voltage and current, apply. Okay, and here I will show one more thing also, to worry, I will explain all the concepts. Okay, in the capacitor also I will select like this. Okay, so now I need to display this value by using the scope, and this is the scope. Suppose I need to measure this P and Q values separately. At that time also I will explain. First of all we will see here the PQ value. Okay, suppose what happened when a display is connected. Okay, and one more thing, what happened when I take multimeter option also. I will explain this concept also now in this same circuit. Go to the measurements, multimeter. Okay, now the same display I will taken. Okay, clear. I will select uh, this. Okay, Okay, I will show later for this. So now coming to, everything is selected. Now coming to the frequency, 50 hertz fundamental frequency, apply. Okay, now I will run the circuit. Clear? So now here I will limit data points. See here, the waveform. See here, the one thing I want to discuss here. Here the waveform is not started from 0. They taken only from 3 point some seconds to 10. Okay, the last 5000 points only they displayed. So see here, limit data points to last 5. So that's why these are the last 5000. You have to disable this option, apply, okay. Again you run the same circuit. Now what is the answer you need? What is the power value? Power value is 54, 54.16. See here, is it the same active power? Clear? 54.07. See, that was the value. Clear? So now I need to check. So what is the uh, power factor? So how to compute the power factor? So here I need to separate the P and Q for the entire circuit. So that's why I need to take the voltage across the all the elements. So okay, now this time I measure the voltage across all the three elements and current passing through the all the three elements. Now I need to check that values. You can decrease the simulation time. Clear? So it is around 54 and here it is a minus 150 something. 150 something. We can minus 155. That minus value indicates that it has more capacity to react to board. Clear? So now I want to compute the power factor. So that's why, how to compute the power factor? The power factor formula is real power divided by apparent power. Apparent power, how to calculate the apparent power? See here, I need to separate that P and Q. So that's why you observe here there is one demux is there. See here, I will connect this demux. Okay, now scope parameters, number of axes I will set it as a 2. Apply. Okay, now two inputs we got. Clear? Okay, now P and Q is available here. So now I need to take S value, computation of S value from these two. So how to compute? So I need to take root of P square plus Q square. So that's why, so first of all I will take an P square. See here, so Actually, it is a square value is we can display. So this one here you taken this is the absolute value we will consider. So here you can compute where is the square. Okay, if there is no square is okay. Then we can do the product. Where is the product? Yes, don't know what is missing somewhere. So okay, here I will take an this is a p square I am computing. So this is p square like this. Q square, sorry, wait, what's that? P square Q square. So now this I want to make it add. Okay, add these two, add these two. P square plus Q square. Now go to the square root. So this is the S value. So now I need to compute the power factor. How to compute the power factor? So I need to make the ratio this value and the P value. So that's why I will go to the MATLAB again, division symbol, that is P divided by S is the sorry, here there is Q square. Okay, P divided by S. Okay, so now I need to display this value. I need to replace this value. This is your power factor. Okay. Here power factor. Okay, so how much this value? 0.3172. Is it the correct answer? You must see here 0.3291. It's almost same. And what is your real power? Real power is 54 point something. Almost nearer to your answer. You can observe the real and reactive power values here. Clear? So now this is about the how to do this. Now coming to this here, in order to observe the current values and voltage values, Okay, so you observe here the voltage across the R and the current passing through the R. Select these two. Okay, now here one more thing you observe, plot selected measurement. See here, if I select this one and run this, automatically a plot will be generated. See this one, this is very important. You can easily generate the plot from the multimeter also. See here, uh, so up to 10 values. Okay, I need to compute zero point 0.5 only. See here, now it is a clear waveform. Clear? This is the voltage across R and current across the R. Current passing through the R. Suppose if I want to get the waveforms for current passing through the L and voltage across the L. You observe here, this you must remove. Okay, now what happens to your voltage and current? See here, here the voltage and currents waveforms are 90 degrees departed. Clear? See here you can see this one, see this one. At this zero time it is starting from the zero, but here it is starting from peak value. So that's why the voltage across inductor leads the current value. Is it right or not? So that's why our current lags the voltage. Clear? So like this you can measure the power factor, real power, reactive powers, apparent powers, like this, all these things. Okay, so thank you.